season.
It's like a combination of excited and bummed because like we've been making the exact show we wanted this entire time. 6 seasons is amazing. The 6th season itself is a blast. Like the aliens, the wall, the silver cops, like we crescendo a bunch of awesome stuff. But like we didn't get to do another holiday special, which we love doing. We could have gone for many more seasons. But like, you know, it's such a weird moment in the industry anyway that like getting 6 seasons feels sort of like a miracle.
Yeah, we feel very grateful.
Yeah.
And also like we could do this show for 10 more years.
But like since animated shows are like zombies, like they can come back when you least expect them. The hand comes out of the grave, you know, like hopefully someday we get to do more of it because we're not done having fun with these characters.
Yeah, the poster for this season is the final season, and then in parenthetical it says for now, which I can't believe they let us get away with.
We were kind of joking when we pitched that. They were like, yeah, that's fine.
But
what about you, Sid? How do you feel?
I'm really sad about it. I've been on the show for 7 years, and I wish it could just keep going forever. I love it.
Yeah, Sid and I worked together on Rick and Morty together.
Yep.
She bailed on Rick and Morty with me to go do Solar Opposites.
Yeah, great choice.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
So the overall theme of last season was the newlyweds. So what's the theme for this coming season?
So at the beginning of the season, we found out that if we were going to do a season 6, we had to trim our budget back. So the Solar Opposites also get their budgets trimmed back. All of the stuff that makes their money gets broken, and they have to like figure out how to actually operate within capitalism, which they've never done before. So it's like an on-running meta joke the whole season. But then at the same time, Terry and Corvo are just a married couple now, and it's normal for them, and it's not like a weird thing anymore. So like we get to tell funny stories that aren't always kind of pivoting back to this will they or won't they, or this like, you know, this worry within them. And it kind of freed us up to just tell like, you know, if Homer and Marge were always not married, that would have limited them, and that's what we found out. So we got to tell more fun stories too.
And I think that because they lost their money, it allowed us to tell like they got jobs, or weird jobs. Like Terry gets into the romantasy world and maybe becomes a famous romantasy novelist.
Yeah.
And they all sort of, the kids...
the replicants.
Yeah, they
have avoided taking tests by using sci-fi the entire series.
Just being little weasels.
And then they fuck it up and they have to take their first test and they find out they're straight A students. And they're like, wait, we can be little ass-kissing grade grubbers. And it like changes their whole dynamic.
Yeah.
We got new stories out of it. It was really fun.
Y'all know I love The Wall. And so how do you approach to capping off the epic second story within the story?
So The Wall this season, the kind of doing like an Apollo 13, The Abyss, like
epic journey, the
epic
core
adventure of a team in the wall. There's kind of two things happening, but like where it really gets to is like we have to go on a fantastic voyage to try to get out of here. So like they have to build a roomphibious craft to get out of the replicants' room.
Should we tell them the joke of the? We could at least tell it.
And it's called the Ariana 1.
So they can get Grande.
Yeah, because they're trying to get Grande again. So we have a lot of fun stuff in the wall. There's characters that return. There's unexpected kind of twists. And if you watch where the wall was at the end of last season, this picks up a little bit after that, and it's people are working together. There's kind of like things are working out for the first time, and it's like once the wall is working together, that's what allows them to maybe get the fuck out of it.
Very quick follow-up.
Yeah.
Do y'all have like a groan meter for puns like that? Where
Yeah, if you
like,
groan, it means it's right. Yeah. It's two dads who both have 2 boys each, subjecting the world to what we subject them to at home.
I am not good at puns, so
Yeah, I know.
So when one comes out and it works, I'm like, we have to do it.
My only
We have to
favorite
do it.
one from Solar was when I was like, first season, I was like, we need a name for a Halloween store, like something clever, like Forever 31. Wait, let's just use that. I was so it just like came out of me like a poltergeist or something. Anyway.
Mike, I'm a massive fan of Lower Decks. I know you've spent most of your career in animation. My question for all of you is, what is it about that medium that has sort of allowed your, really inspired you and kind of let you just like your brain take flight?
I think all 3 of us love live action animation, and for me at least, animation is comforting to me. Like I loved putting on I remember moving when I was a kid and putting on Futurama, and I was like, oh, I'm not worried about moving anymore because I love this show. It's making me laugh, and I grew up watching I remember when the first Simpsons aired, and I was like, wow, I love this show. I hope they don't cancel it.
Good news.
Yeah. So like, the thing for me is like, my favorite animated shows are from people who can draw, and I can't draw. And what it means is surrounding myself with really talented designers and directors and like learning from them and armoring them with as much freedom that they can have fun too and like not second guessing it. And then, I don't know, it's like an animated show is just like, if you do it right, it makes you laugh, but it's also kind of like a warm hug, right? Like, I really like that aspect of it, that it's a rewatchable thing.
Yeah.
I think I have probably most experience of any of us in both, having done lots of live action and animation, but sort of in this modern landscape of media and all that stuff, I love that animation is really the one American comedy that travels to the world. Animation is huge. My joke is always like Rick E. Morty is massive.
Rick E. Morty,
and Solar has been a huge hit on Disney Star overseas. I love that it's able to translate.
That's cool.
And it can speak to any language, right? And so much of our comedy in America doesn't. I love that animation is the thing that's broken through.
The one thing in America that does translate.
Yeah, right now at least.
Yeah, I just love animation. I've always been such a fan of it, and I just kind of fell into this industry, and I couldn't dream of a better place to work in entertainment. It's so great watching the artists draw and bring their ideas to life. It's just incredible.
So how do you approach, with the understanding animation always seems to revive itself, how do you approach giving a satisfying conclusion while also leaving the door open in case someone does want this?
You do both. You do, I keep calling it like our Fellowship of the Ring, right? Where it's like the promise of more, but you felt like you're satisfied that you watched something happen. And that definitely happens in Solar this season. It's the same thing I did in Lower Decks, where it was like, oh, look, you can tell McMahan could keep wanting to do, there's room for going on. And I think what's nice about that is it feels like the world is real for the characters within it, that the stakes are real, and that it doesn't just stop for them, and that feels cool.
So do you guys have a favorite character to write for, or that you feel represents you?
Well, that represents me, but I love writing Terry Lyons.
Yeah.
He's so unhinged and stupid, but you love him. Stupid but lovable is so great. How about you?
I think Terry's the most fun. I love Terry. And then, of course, we love the pupa who's right here coming in hot.
The pupa.
But actually watching
This is my son. I don't hug every child.
That would be weird.
You don't call every child a pupa? That's just not what you refer to.
Honestly, watching the evolution of his character from when Sagan was 3 and couldn't even read, and you had to bribe him with Skittles just to say
Because the
lines.
pupa was designed after Sagan being born.
Oh yeah, be like you do.
To now, which especially we're showing an episode today, and it's an episode that really features the pupa, and it's the most and Tiffany's character, and it's the most you've ever talked, I think, in an episode,
Yeah,
right?
you talk a lot. No, there's one episode where he's a naughty teen.
Right. So we've
says
changed,
nasty
we
stuff.
changed the rules over the years, where it used to be the pupa only says one-word things like Skittles and Lightning McQueen, but as our characters grew and Sagan grew, we're able to do more, and so that's fun.
Obviously, this is a great production experience, working experience for y'all. So, is there something that you learned on this?
Sorry, thank you so much.
Never mind.
That's okay.
I was listening for him to finish.
It's okay.
and then
Go
all of a
ahead.
sudden-
Go. Just finish.
Is there something you learned that you're I'm determined to take this to whatever your next project is?
Yeah, we learned. I learned everything. Lower Decks and Solar Opposites came right when I started showrunning Rick and Morty, and I learned how to make a television show doing this while I learned how to be a dad at the same time. And I learned a lot from Josh, who, had been on many shows before me, but we both kind of learned you get to have a freedom on this to get the craziest stuff and to not be so locked down. Allow yourself to find things you didn't expect because you weren't trying to make the right thing. You were just trying to have fun.
The only thing I would add is that this show is about the best joke wins. So whether or not it was Mike and I, or our writers, or our actors, or as
Artists.
you said, the artists brought, especially with The Wall, because we were creating an entire world, but every episode the artist made it better. Made a joke better, made a scene better,
Also think
everything.
The music in this show is so
amazing.
good.
The music's
A lot of music,
amazing.
in comedies, get reprinted or it's a little small, and every episode of this sometimes has an entire orchestra behind it for The Wall. And the amount of emotion and fun you can get out of having a really like elevated cinematic score is really valuable.
All right, we have to go. Aaron's going to be mad.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much.